announcement in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, laws of the state of New Jersey. The Borough Clerk has prepared a schedule of the meetings of the governing body of the Borough of Kenilworth for the year 2022. The Borough Clerk has posted a true copy of the schedule on the bulletin board located at the front entrance of Borough Hall, and has mailed true copies of the schedule to the local source, the Star Ledger, and the Home News Tribune, and is maintaining a copy of this schedule in her office during the year 2022. During the public health emergency caused by coronavirus, the Borough Council will continue to meet virtually on their regularly scheduled meeting dates at 6 p.m. The Council meeting will continue to commence as soon as possible after the work session. Accordingly, the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. In regards to this meeting, please stand for the salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Cesare.
Here.
Councilman David.
Here.
Councilman Finestrella.
Here.
Councilman Pence. Councilman Puglisi.
Here.
Councilman Zimmerman.
Here.
Okay, pursuant to NJSA 40:54-9, I do hereby appoint Jay Shear as a member of the Library Board of Trustees to replace Gail Ladati, who was appointed on January 4th, 2021 as an alternate to act in my place and stead, with authority to attend all meetings of the board and in my absence to vote on all questions before the board. Okay, finance report, Councilman Puglisi.
Thank you, Mayor. Met with the Finance Committee over the past couple of weeks to discuss the capital budget, which is, you can see is a resolution on the agenda to amend the capital budget. We decided to scale back capital expenditures a little further. It is still probably not as much as I would be happy with, but the majority of the committee, including myself, thought it was just the best thing to do. We are spending money on pretty much every department, including the police department. The DPW is getting some major equipment, but we did have to scale it back a little more because in the upcoming years we're going to have the Merck tax appeal situation, and we also have been discussing regarding a new statute that would allow the town to break that down over 3 years. That is a tax consequence regarding the Merck tax appeal. So the town's going to have to eat the whole thing, even though it relates to the school and everything out in the county. But the town, municipal portion of the budget, we're going to have to eat the whole thing. So we're looking into breaking that over 3 years, and we have council looking into that. Secondly, the Finance Committee, and speaking with the CFO, Ken Blum, we also discussed and realized that considering that we're going to have major tax consequences or budget consequences over the next couple of years, probably of the like that I haven't seen in a while, we decided to actually meet this year to discuss next year's budget. Nothing formal, nothing set in stone, but just start the process. That'll just give us more than enough time to discuss the major issues that will be affecting the town, and then get back to the full council so we can get impact, or get feedback, I should say, from the council. And then we can go back to the committee and do what we have to do so we can make the best decisions regarding the upcoming situations that are coming up ahead. And lastly, I see we on the resolution will be appointing a senior clerk for the clerk's office. Again, that's she's here today in the back. That is somebody the mayor and myself met before, and with this new hire, our clerk's office will be up to full capacity again. And that's all I have.
Excellent. Thank you. Department of Public Works, Councilman David.
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I got is, October, there will be a fall bulk pickup. North side will be collected October 17th until it's finished. South side is October 24th. Residents need to know that once they go down your street and take all the items away, you can no longer put any other items out after that because it will not be picked up. As in the past, in the spring, there were a lot of out-of-towners dropping stuff off on the streets. So hopefully we can start catching these people and do something about it. And that's pretty much all I got. October 1st, the yard will be open. It's the first Saturday of the month. The yard will be open for people to drop off recycling and oil and other scrap metal, e-waste. And that's all I got.
Thank you,
Mayor, I just have a
Councilman David.
question if I
Yes.
can interrupt. I forgot to ask you during work session, Mark, are we having another town line garage sale in October before pickup? Do you
I
know?
know,
I believe we are.
Yes.
We are?
Yes.
Do you know the date?
I do, I have my,
Somebody did ask me.
hold on a second.
Should be the week after
It's
the
October,
south side pickup.
I have the dates here.
No.
It's usually the first week of October, I
Or
think.
the
No,
week,
it's-
no, usually
it's
the week
October
before,
8th.
the week before the north side
It's
pickup.
October 8th.
Eighth and ninth, yeah.
October 8th and 9th?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
this way, whatever they don't sell, they can just put to the curb. Yeah.
Yes, okay, thank you.
And just a question on that, Angela, did they leave the applications in your office for that? They did, so residents can get them at the Borough Clerk's office or online through, and it's run by the Historical Society. So they're the ones that collect the fee for that.
Okay, is that
Thank you,
all?
Mark,
That's
sorry.
it.
Okay, Department of Public Safety, Councilman Zimmerman.
Thank you, Mayor. Chief Seuss is on vacation, so he's not going to be here this evening. Since the last council meeting, he advised me that Kenilworth is once again hit hard with catalytic converter thefts. It's pretty much countywide, statewide, especially Honda vehicles. Honda vehicles are being targeted, Acuras, Hondas. They actually wanted a car with a blowtorch, and they removed it at nighttime undercover. So if anybody sees that on a Ring camera, please call our police immediately so we can respond. And it's very intermittently done. It's not like they come to Kenilworth every night. They come from Kenilworth, they go to Union, Westfield, Cranford, and they keep moving around. And they may hit Kenilworth twice, 3 times a month, but when they hit us hard. So on the weekend of September 9th and 10th, we had 6 reported catalytic converter thefts and a stolen motor vehicle that night, that weekend. The catalytic converters were all taken from vehicles parked in the street areas of Quinton, Summit, Richfield, and South Michigan Avenue, so they were on the south side this time. The stolen motor vehicle was taken from Wilshire Drive on the north side and was once again left unlocked with the key fob inside. So it was one of those easy thefts that keep occurring too, so please lock your doors. If you have a Honda or an Acura, please, any kind of model, whether it's an SUV, Pilot, car, Accord, Civic, park in your driveway if you can, and just try and keep it in a lit area. Also, don't leave your keys, key fobs, personal items in the car, and please don't leave your cars unlocked. That's the most important thing. Numerous other agencies, like I said, have been hit hard with these thefts and stolen cars. And the Kenilworth Police are planning on deploying unmarked and plainclothes units to try and combat the thefts. But it's done, like I said, very intermittently, so it's hard to catch these people, and we really need the public to come out and help us. And the borough held our annual 9/11 memorial service on Sunday, September 11th, and had a tremendous turnout from our residents, first responders, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and the superintendent was there also from the schools. And despite a wet and rainy day, it was a very good event. Senator Joe Cryan relayed to Chief Seuss that of the 4 9/11 memorials he attended that day, Kenilworth's was by far the largest turnout of them all. So it does speak volumes about the character and dedication of our residents, our first responders, our council that keep turning out year after year, and which makes us a truly great town. Kenilworth's 3 new officers that were hired and just graduated the academy at the beginning of the summer. Officers Anthony Almeida, Marcus Trotman, and Arturo Gonzalez have all completed their field training. So now they've been assigned to permanent platoons on the police department, and they're all out on their own. They're no longer riding with a partner. And field training officer and coordinator, Lieutenant Chris Bryson, said that all 3 of these officers have done tremendous in their training and have shown excellent community-oriented policing skills that they're going to pass on to our residents in our borough. We expect all 3 to be tremendous additions to our community. Also, Anthony Tanks was assigned to the Detective Bureau beginning this week on Monday. Chief Seuss held interviews and interviewed officers that were interested in the vacancy that was in the Detective Bureau. He waited till after the summer because of vacations to fill it, and Officer Tanks is going to be just started this week. On the first weekend in October, the 7th to the 10th, the Kenilworth Police Department will be pairing with the Kenilworth Interfaith Council to join the National Faith and Blue Movement, which is held yearly every October. The Faith and Blue Initiative is an extension of the Movement Forward Foundation, a civil rights organization based out of Atlanta, Georgia. Their mission is to build a safer and stronger community by engaging law enforcement officers and local residents through the connections of faith-based organizations. And in conjunction with the Interfaith Council, we will be having a softball game and field day on Saturday, October 8th at the Mario Park, and a night of bowling at Garwood Lanes on Friday, October 14th. All of these events will feature teams commingled with police officers, church congregants and leaders, and town officials. Admission to all these events will be charged in the form of non-perishable groceries that will go towards local needy families and church food banks. Anyone who is interested in participating should reach out to Sergeant Sean Caverick, Officer Ryan Kernan, Travis Stiltz, and Brett Byron, or see the updates posted to our department's social media site on social media. And last but not least, I spoke with Travis Stiltz, who's our PBA president, and the bash that was held 2 weeks ago was last Saturday was a success. 2 Saturdays ago, and the money they raised, I know we had talked. They said originally it was going to go towards a large charity, but they found a resident who does not want to be named that has had received it, who has a family member that is fallen ill. So they donated the money to that entity, to that person and that family, and that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Councilman. Planning and Zoning, Councilman Fenestrella.
Thank you, Mayor. Not much to talk about. The next planning and zoning is scheduled for the second Thursday of October, October 13th, 6:30 work session, 7 o'clock meeting. And our borough attorneys are diligently working on updating the permit fees for construction. And hopefully that brings in some additional revenues while needed. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Recreation and Fire, Councilwoman Ceciari.
No, that's Rec and Fire's Councilman Pence, and I wasn't able to get a report.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You know, you did it for so many years, it just went right on. Sorry. Councilman Pence is excused this evening. Health, Education, and Human Resources, Councilwoman.
That is me.
Oh, boy.
Okay, no problem.
It was a long time, though. You did do it for a long time.
I have, I'll just make I have a couple announcements for the library happenings, and I'll save them till the end, but just to say before that, the Board of Health is meeting tomorrow night, so I don't have a report for them. And, the Board of Ed, there's a couple things going on. Of course, October 6th, there's voting for the, referendum proposal. They're looking for people to get out and vote and see what we could do. A couple other things, they did send me, because, you know, COVID's still around, whether anybody realizes it or not. It's very far removed from what we experienced before, but there still are people that are contracting it, and the school gave me the breakdown of the total number of cases, the students who reported, the total quarantine, and cumulative totals of COVID cases. So it's the total, I'm not gonna read all the numbers, but the total enrollment was 683. That was for Harding, and Brewerly Middle School, 248, and Brewerly High School is 522. So those are the amounts of, I guess, the surveys that they did, and to put this into perspective, and the numbers are low. There's nothing above a 3 as far as cases go. So they pretty much have that under control. The only thing is if you are exposed, they urge you have to contact the school, and they're and Center for Disease Control as to what goes on next, because things change day to day. So and also for the high school, Brewerly Middle School, the 8th grade class of 2023, they are having a fundraiser at Blaze Pizza, and you could do online orders, and this is, like I said, it's for the class of 2023, and Blaze Pizza will donate 25% of proceeds from the meal back to the organization that is here for the middle school.
Do you have the date for that?
I'm sorry, September 27th.
September 27th.
Yeah, it's from 5:30 to 9:30, and it's in the Clark Commons, Raritan Road in Clark. So that's a good thing. Actually, I know the school is running one tonight. I think it's for the seniors at Cordova or
Qdoba on 25th? Okay.
yeah, one of them. Yeah, Mexican restaurants.
Yep.
So if you go in tonight, they'll donate their proceeds also. Okay, that brings me to the library. I just want to commend the crafts that these kids have done. They did for Memorial Day crafts, cards for soldiers, which were sent to the troops, and they got a personal thank you from Major General James C. Johnson of the U.S. Air Force. These were things they made, they sent to the troops, and when you're out there, it's touching to receive something
Sure.
that people are thinking about you, and they are grateful for what they have. Also, on another note, the library had a Cranford resident join their craft class, and she liked it so much, she donated like $50 and a letter of appreciation, because she said that the craft club class is really outstanding, and she was very impressed with it. So now, just a couple of programs that I was just going through, and that'll be it. I won't take up any more time. Okay, Thursday, September 22nd, of course, the Yarnies are from 2 to 4 p.m. Thursday, September 29th, the library Fiber Night Yarn. The library has, I'm not even going to say that, they misspelled that. Yarnies will be held from 6 to 8 p.m. Tuesday, October 4th, Paper Pals from 2 to 4. Children's programming, all programming that is done must be registered 1 week prior. We have Thursday, that's gone. September 29th, they have a Mad Science workshop, and it'll be held at 3:30. Wednesday, September 28th, Good Time String Band will perform for all ages at 10:30 a.m. Also, we'd like to congratulate, and I'd like to give a shout out to Sally Shearer, her 40 years, I'm sorry if I butchered her name, but it's Shearer, for 40 years of service on the library board. They had a little celebration before the library meeting last on September 8th, and where she was honored, and we thank her for her services, and she's still with us, so that's going. All right, and actually, I came to the end. Ran out of stuff. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
It's all good.
I'd like a motion to accept council reports.
Motion. Second.
Okay. Next for council consideration is this consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Okay.
Resolutions 203 to 212 are listed on the consent agenda and will be approved by one motion. All items will be recorded individually in full in the minutes. Councilwoman Cesari.
Yes.
Councilman David.
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella.
Yes.
Councilman Puglisi.
Yes.
Councilman Zimmerman.
Yes.
Two ordinances for introduction.
Two ordinances for introduction. Ordinance 2022-17, bond ordinance to authorize the making of various public improvements and the acquisition of new additional or replacement equipment and machinery, new communication and signal systems equipment, new information technology equipment, and a new fire truck, partial funding, and a new automotive vehicles, including original apparatus and equipment, in, by, and for the Borough of Kenilworth in the County of Union, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $1,860,000 to pay the cost thereof, to appropriate various grants, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds, to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2022-17 for introduction?
Motion. Second.
Councilwoman Cesari.
Yes.
Councilman David.
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella.
Yes.
Councilman Puglisi.
Yes.
Councilman Zimmerman.
Yes.
Be it hereby resolved that ordinance 2022-17, heretofore introduced, does now pass on first reading, and that said ordinance be further considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on October 5th, 2022 at 6 o'clock p.m. or as soon as thereafter as the matter can be reached, at the regular meeting place of the Borough Council, and that at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage. Ordinance 2022-18, ordinance amending Chapter 37, Personnel Policies, Article 5, Paid and Unpaid Time Off Policies, subsection 37, Paid Holidays of the Code of the Borough of Kenilworth.
Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2022-18 for introduction?
Motion.
Second.
Councilwoman Cesari.
Yes.
Councilman David.
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella.
Yes.
Councilman Puglisi.
Yes.
Councilman Zimmerman.
Yes.
Be it hereby resolved that the ordinance 2022-18, heretofore introduced, does now pass on first reading, and that said ordinance be further considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on October 5th, 2022 at 6 o'clock p.m. or as soon as thereafter as the matter can be reached, at the regular meeting place of the Borough Council, and that at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Is there a motion to open the floor to the public?
Motion.
Second.
Does anyone have anything to say for the good and well-being of Kenilworth? Please come forward and state your name and address.
Roz Dragapple, 70 Pembroke Drive.
Hi, Roz.
I've been watching everything going on with the school referendum, from YouTube to the meeting the other night, etc. I am very, very concerned about pushing everything through on the school referendum all in one fell swoop. I don't know, and I just heard today about the Merck referendum, about how we're gonna have to pay them back. Why can't we do it in stages? I mean, the one thing, I'm not opposed to adding on to the school so that the students are separated. I think that's a great idea. I'm not opposed to the science labs, anything to improve the children's learning abilities, but I'm totally opposed to a turf field and an auditorium that provides comfort. for parents coming to the school. I mean, I come here and I sit, are we
Well,
gonna
I can
get-
tell you that first, these questions should be, you should ask the Board of Education,
May I?
of course. But
Okay.
the bleachers, I can tell you, or the auditorium seats, a lot of them are broken and splinters, and
Fix them.
especially in Harding School, they've been there for 100 years.
You know what, I'm almost 100 years, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm almost 100
Yeah, I mean,
years
I
old
can just
because-
tell you that it wasn't that long ago that my daughter was in Harding School, and I would have to put down many seats to find one that wasn't broken or filled with splinters
Well,
and
maybe
whatnot.
what they should do then is to try to preserve something in this town. I mean, I'm a senior citizen,
Mhm.
and I know there's a lot of younger people who just don't have this extra money to keep giving and
Right.
giving. Why can't we do it in phases? And I will tell you, I was all set, I had a list of 6 questions
Mhm.
to ask them. I called before the meeting and I said, am I gonna be able to ask my questions? Because you know, I'm not very computer literate.
Right.
Yes, you should be. And then I come to find out that you've got to ask them on email. Well, my cell phone doesn't do email and I'm on my iPad, so I couldn't ask any questions and the meeting was muted.
Well, I would suggest to you to call the superintendent and perhaps you can set up a meeting with him. And I know that a lot of residents have done that. That would be my suggestion to you, and he would definitely be able to answer all your questions, certainly better than I think any of us here could.
I think the reason I brought it here is because I know that you all had interaction prior to the whole program coming together. And I think we need to be conscious about our residents and people who, you know, I mean, people are losing their jobs, they don't have enough food for
Right.
themselves and their children, they have
Well,
to give up their
The,
pets.
fortunately, people will be able to vote, and you can vote as follow your heart on how you feel about the
Well,
referendum.
I'm gonna do that, but you know,
Right.
I'm thinking to myself, sometimes in my little mind, there's simple solutions to things, and maybe phasing it so that we can see how things go as we
I think there's a
proceed.
reason why, and I think it had, and again, I'm the wrong person to ask these questions to,
Oh,
but
I'll go
I
on.
think it had something to do with this $5 million extra dollars that were coming from the state of New Jersey.
I don't
However,
trust them either,
again,
so who knows
I
what they're gonna
suggest
do.
you call him and
Okay,
ask him,
I
because he
will.
can certainly answer these questions, I'm sure, better than any of us are
And I
able
also
to.
think it was important for me to come here and say that,
Sure,
so that if people do watch this, they understand that there are people out there too who are not gonna jump in hook, line, and sinker to vote all of this stuff in just
Right.
because, you know,
Mhm.
just because. So, all right.
And
Roz,
probably the
Roz,
pub-
can I, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I would just say probably, you know, and I get what you're saying, and probably the best thing you could do is, one, obviously, get as much facts as you can, right? And you sound like you've got a lot of facts about the project. Find out more information, but probably more important than anything else that you said, or I could say, is that once you've digested all the information, it's just get as many people out, whichever side you choose, just get as many people out as you can, friends, neighbors, family, to vote.
Like I said, I'm not opposed to the important things that are gonna do right by the students initially, but it's
Of course.
just the rest of it's the pork.
But if I may, even though I report on the Board of Ed, the council has nothing really to do with the Board of Ed. We're
I
pretty
still
much.
think that because you're the council in town, it can work.
Yeah, no,
with their
it
own
doesn't
words.
work
it's not
that
how it
way.
works, they're their own,
Yeah.
their own law, their own government.
Unless something should
I'm not
go
even
wrong on the
government,
Board of
so
Ed.
I'm here telling you exactly.
They
what
are,
it
though.
Yeah, no, seriously.
The
I
Board of
mean-
Education is,
I'm not shy, you know that. I will contact Kyle and set up something.
Okay.
and talk to him.
Yeah.
do
And
that,
Roz,
better.
I would
Yeah.
recommend
Yes.
that.
Around town, I've been asked that too, why is the field on that with the, you know, why wasn't it 2 separate questions? And unfortunately, I've had to refer people to the Board of Ed too,
Okay.
because I don't
Right.
have that answer, and
Right.
it's, I don't know
We'll
exactly
give
how
you
it's
the wrong
broken down,
information.
so.
Do you want me to bring the information here when I find it?
um,
I'm only kidding.
No,
Don't-
no.
It'll be over by then anyway.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Roz.
Okay.
Thank you, Roz.
Does anyone else have anything to say for,
Of course.
I know you miss me.
We almost got away.
No,
hi, Mary.
I wouldn't miss you. Mary Mickey, 725 Monmouth Avenue. First of all, I want to thank the DPW. down on Lester Terrace, they cleaned all those weeds that were this high. I just wish they could get the man across the street to cut his bushes that are out to the street that are as tall as I am. Because when I'm walking, cars coming around the corner, I don't know how many of you know Lester Terrace is only 2 blocks. They come around that corner, they can't see you
Right.
till they're on top of you. But I really would like those bushes and the.
Mary, you should call Iris, the code enforcer, and give her the address of the property and ask her to take a look.
And if it's a safety hazard, as
I
far as
would-
blocking obstruction, the police department can take a quick look at it too. And
Okay.
if they go around the corner and say, well, I can't see nobody coming because of the bush, then they can enforce something.
Well, that's exactly what it is, Mark, because in some spots, as I said, it's as tall as I am,
So,
and they're out into the street.
you know.
And the
Police
girl
department, yeah.
across the street who's back in college now, she said to me, Mary, can't you do something? I said, what, you know, I can only, she was always hit with riding her bike. And the people ride in the last 2 blocks, Kingston and Clinton, that's where they take their little kids on their bicycles and so forth. So now they're down here.
Well, it is within 10 feet of the street, right, with the bush?
No, they're right at the curb.
So then technically the town can, if it's a.
Well, I mean,
town can cut it down.
this is the street, and this is hanging over here. It's hanging past your cobblestone.
What- What's the address? I can report it to the zoning enforcement.
It would be, let's see, I'm 725, it would be 740 something.
So
It's
all
the
way-
last
it's all
house
way
on the
up
corner.
Monmouth.
I know, yeah,
Monmouth, right?
yeah. Yeah, it's on
Okay,
the
I'll
corner of
look it up.
Monmouth and yeah, it's the only one on the corner. The other ones go to the end of the street.
Facing going west or east?
It's facing south.
South?
I thought
Yeah,
mine
it's
was
facing
west.
south.
The last house on the
It's
left?
not going, well, yeah, if you're coming.
It's facing
If you're coming
south.
around the corner, you'll be going south, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, I think it is dangerous. I think it's an accident waiting to happen. We are, you know, before you know it, it'll be Thanksgiving time and we will be doing our big Thanksgiving drive. We are in need of food. I hope the mayor could send something out stating that
I sure can.
that we are in need of food. And anyone
What,
is
what,
welcome to come, they just need to come.
what are the hours now, Mary?
On Tuesdays, it's 10 to 12.
Okay,
On Wednesday night, it's 6 to 7.
okay.
And on alternate Thursdays, it's 9 to 11.
Do you know what that alteration is on Thursday?
I have to look on.
Okay, all right. You know what, if you just find out and call me, and
Okay,
I'll
yeah.
post it. And what about the, what food are you looking for? You still have the
Well,
refrigerator, right?
We're in really need of, we have no cereal at all.
So
And at
dry
one point,
goods,
we
okay.
had hundreds.
Hundreds, I know.
Yeah, but,
Okay.
and the stuff that we get from the Catholic charities, they've been very big on certain things that, like brown rice. You know how many people like brown rice?
Yeah, not many.
So many.
I do.
But we. My daughter does. That's healthy,
The
yeah.
two of you can go out to dinner.
Chinese food.
Brown rice,
Brown
yeah.
rice.
And Father Giovanni wanted me to ask the mayor,
Yes.
there's a picnic on the first Sunday of October, after the 12 o'clock mass. Actually, there'll be a 12 o'clock mass on the steps. And there'll be all kinds of hot dogs and hamburgers and.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
please tell me if I would ask our illustrious mayor.
I'm looking at the bushes on Monmouth Avenue.
Yeah, but, I really would appreciate any food that we could get.
Yep.
And as I said, we really are looking to help out people. And if anybody knows of an organization that's in need of socks, we got 3,700.
Wow.
Just a few there.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, but we've already dealt with the VFW, I mean, they're.
What about the, like the women's shelter in Elizabeth, and I think they have, don't they have
Oh,
some?
wait a minute, these are all, you know that advertisement? You buy one, we donate one.
I don't
We
know.
have, you've never seen that commercial?
No, but,
Yeah, we buy, they're very expensive socks. But they must have gotten like a million pair, they must probably get a million pair of them. They're all black, I could have even brought a pair, all black men's socks. So like the woman's shelter, I don't think.
right,
But we've dealt with, Covenant House, they've got their own. Bobby Jeans, he came over with the truck with us, and he got all his, he's taking care of all the service, the VFW, the hospitals and all the vets, he's taking care of. These are not to be sold, these are only for, donations.
right.
But if there's an organization that you know that could use some, the bags that I have are in 250 pairs in a box, I think, 250.
Okay.
So I'm willing to, donate to them, but they just have
I'm
to.
gonna reach out to the county too, and see.
Yeah, because it's really, especially with the winter come, these are good, really good stocks.
Okay.
And.
I guess nobody bought for women's socks in the buy one, get
Actually,
one
when
free.
they first heard it's coming, I'm looking at their,
Only
their-
men participated in that campaign.
Now, when I'm looking at their advertisement in my head, and I'm thinking, we're gonna get kids socks.
Right.
We're gonna get this, we're gonna
That's
get
what
that.
I would think.
And I got-
Maybe it's not one for one, they were just giving those socks, no matter what people ordered.
It didn't matter.
Right, it didn't matter.
This
Everyone
is
was
what-
getting black socks,
Yeah, you're
donation.
getting black socks.
Men's socks.
As I said, their socks go for like $14 a pair. So, I mean, you're getting good socks, but
Right.
you're just gonna get black men's heavy socks.
Okay,
As I said, if we have any, if you have an organization that, just let me know, and, because we're working through Catholic Charities, you know me, I'm working through everything.
I know.
But as I said, we've already taken care of the VFW, St. Joe's and Elizabeth, Covenant House, but as I said, Covenant House got their own, Bobby Jean's got his own, and we have, this other 3,750. But we have been dispersing them into the
Okay.
groups.
Thank you.
But, I'll tell you one thing, you're doing a wonderful job,
Thank you, Mary.
yes, and so are you, Mark.
I appreciate that.
Mary, you made a blush, I could see the red on top
Oh,
of
you
his
can see
head.
the rest of it. I bet she's missing. Have a great day.
Thank you, same to you, Mary. Anyone else? Hi, Carol.
I want to thank you again for the upgrading of the boulevard, because I live so close. I always walk.
I
to
know, I see you
the
walking
market.
everywhere, and I'm afraid to, you're, you look amazing, by the way, Carol.
But at any rate, what I want
Thank
to
you.
talk about is the sidewalk between 20th and 19 still needs to be fixed.
Yeah, that's
But that
going to be
block-
done this year, right, Christian?
I know that block has
Yes.
the trees are fine, and it has the brick border, that block. So those look fine, those don't need to be touched.
Yeah, the sidewalks are gonna get done this
Just
year,
the
that
sidewalk,
block will
right?
get done, yes.
So, anyway, I just wanted to say thank you again, because
Thank
I
you.
love seeing
Thank
our
you.
town.
Improve.
And then one day I saw
agree.
there was some of the weeds and stuff growing around the new trees, I said, uh-oh, within 2 days, they were all gone and cleaned up and everything.
That's awesome. Thanks to our DPW, they're doing a great job up there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Carol. Okay. Anyone else? Hello?
Hi everyone, Jacqueline Schultz, the new senior clerk. I just want to say thanks all for the opportunity. I'm excited to work with everyone.
Excellent, we're happy you're here. Welcome to Kenilworth.
Jack.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Does anyone have anything else to add?
Oh, yes, I do, which I
Well,
forgot
we
to.
need close the
We have to close it, right?
public
okay.
portion first. Okay, I'd like to
Make a motion?
make a motion to close the floor for public discussion.
Second.
Okay, does anyone from the council have anything else to add?
So sorry, I
That's
forgot
okay,
to
it's
announce during, for my Board of Health, because we haven't had a meeting in so long, that, I believe this Saturday is, the 24th, is the health fair. I believe
Okay.
it starts at 9, they're giving flu shots. I don't know if they're doing,
I think it's just flu shots.
yeah, I don't
and
know if they're doing,
I
boosters
think
or
they're
anything.
doing and I think, are they still doing it when the car, you drive up, I think?
Oh,
That's what we
that,
did
they
last year.
didn't tell
I don't
me.
know
Yeah, I
if
think they're
I
still
mean,
doing it
I'll
that
be
way.
honest with you, my meetings are
And
still
I
on
think it's
Zoom with
just
the Board of
the
Health, so.
flu shot
It
this
could be,
year.
yeah.
That's what I'm under
So-
that impression.
Okay, so
thank
that's
you.
Saturday, health fair.
Okay.
What time is that?
Okay,
I believe it's from 9 to 12.
they're also doing the pets, the dogs.
Oh, the blessing of the animals.
November the 5th.
Oh, Saint Francis of Assisi's, okay. That's,
I just figured it out.
same thing. Okay,
That
the
was-
25th of September?
No,
I'm sorry.
November 5th.
November
sorry,
5th is the
November
blessing of
5th
the
is the
animals.
blessing
That's
of
what
the
I had
animals.
heard it, but-
Where, is that at St.
Well,
Teresa's
He's got the
parking lot
blessing
also?
of the animals.
Okay.
I'm bringing my
Blessing
little
of the
friend,
animals,
fur
November 5th.
baby, new one.
I used to do that as a kid, so, with my dogs, and, it was really nice, a nice thing to do. I don't know, we haven't,
That's
like I
usually
said,
in conjunction with that, with the St. Francis of Assisi, that's what they did last year.
of the blessing.
No, that's the date they're having it, November the 5th, is the day they're doing the rabies.
Correct. And they usually,
Okay.
and Father
So it's
Giovanni
rabies
comes out and
November
blesses
5th.
the dogs, too.
So
That's
we'll
blessing,
get
yeah.
rabies and the blessing of the animals on November 5th.
in the park.
And we'll get more details for the next meeting on that.
Yeah, because I haven't been to a meeting all summer, actually, they haven't had one, they've been on a summer break, so, like I said, tomorrow night's meeting, and I
Okay.
yeah, no, I will be asking these questions, I will, definitely keep you updated on that. So, that's all, now I'm done.
Okay, excellent.
Mayor, I just have just two things I want to add, if I can. First, I'd like to say I was glad to see last month's agenda resolutions and minutes posted on the borough website. It was the first time since March 16th of 2022, and the September 7th meeting was up in a timely manner. Kudos to the borough clerk for getting that back up to keep the transparency of our governing body. And I'd also like to have the agenda, the resolutions, have the names of the borough appointments. I know we used to do initials. I think it kind of slipped through tonight. I know Angela's new at this, but I'd like to see names and salaries for transparency too, whenever we do our agenda, just for the public, so when they see it, they know what's going on.
Okay. I don't have any problem with that.
I don't think there's an issue with that, I'll double check when else.
We'll have council. Yeah, yeah.
Councilman Zimmerman, this is with respect to what particular issue coming up?
No, just in general.
No,
No
just
issue. But like in the past, if we hired a crossing guard or somebody from the borough clerk's office or anything, they'd put,
What the gross.
for me, they would put
Right.
Jay-Z.
A lot of towns have
Yeah.
it. A
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
towns
But
have it.
I'd like to see, like, John Zimmerman,
No,
code
she's
enforcement
saying on the
officer,
website.
hired whatever this date at a salary, just so that, I have people ask me all the time, who's these initials? I'm like, I saw it on a resolution, but I don't even know.
Fair enough.
So,
Yeah.
and it's more for transparency of the public.
I agree. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
And quickly, you heard earlier someone mentioned the school referendum coming up, and I just want to remind the residents that the hours will be abbreviated. They're afternoon hours, I believe it's 2 to 8.
2 to 8, yep.
So, you know, it's a substantial project, however you feel, one way or another.
October
Uh,
6th.
Yeah, so however you feel, one way or another, just keep in mind, you can't go in the morning, you're gonna have to go between 2 and 8, and if you feel strongly about this one way or another, get your family and friends out. Thank you.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Where's the vote at? High school?
Yeah, everything's at the high school.
Okay, if there's nothing else to be brought before the council, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.